Ash's Greninja is a unique mechanic we've only seen once in the Pokemon universe, giving Greninja a special form where it is stronger and does more damage. It's not Mega Evolution, it's not Primal Evolution, and it's not Gigamax. This mechanic is something we've waited for the longest time to get in Pokemon GO, and with the announcement of Froakie Community, we thought we were gonna get it, but no. Well, today we're gonna be talking about Ash Greninja, everything you need to know about it, and when and how it would come to Pokemon GO. This Pokemon is really cool, so don't go anywhere, and let's get into it. Welcome to Froakie Community Day. One of the most anticipated community days in Pokemon GO, but I can't help but think about something else during this community. Ash Greninja. Now you see, most of you guys who have never heard of Ash Greninja are gonna be thinking I'm just making stuff up. Like, Dax, what's next? John's Pikachu or Julian's Snover? But no, trust me. It actually is a real thing. You see, if we were actually able to get Ash Greninja in Pokemon GO, it would literally become #1 overall Water-type raid attacker, #1 in damage per second Water-type raid attacker, beating out Primal Kyogre by literally 4 points of DPS. It'll become probably one of the highest damage per second Pokemon in the game, and also it'll be an absolute threat in the Master League with the moveset of Water Shuriken, Hydro Cannon, and Night Slash, which is arguably one of the best movesets in Pokemon GO. Hey, check it out, a little cheeky, shiny Froakie. Now, if by now you haven't realized that Ash Greninja is something you care about, well, I just hope you have, because the thing's gonna be a beast. But the real question really comes down to, will this thing ever come to Pokemon GO? Because it's kind of got a weird history in the Pokemon universe. IV check? So today, that's what we're gonna be talking about. Will Ash Greninja come to Pokemon GO? And if it does, how? I'm dying to tell you guys about this, so let's get right into it. Okay. So first thing I want to say is that personally, I didn't really watch the Pokemon animes.
You're a fake and a fraud.
So I am by no means an expert on this, but I have done some research to try to explain to you guys a little bit about the origin of Ash Greninja and how it would implement into Pokemon GO. So Ash Greninja was first introduced as a Froakie and was given to Ash by Professor Sycamore of the Kalos region and the X and Y series. Ash, obviously, as Ash does, went through many adventures with this Froakie, beating Pokemon, evolving it into Frogadier, into a Greninja, and pretty much building what we like to call friendship in Pokemon. It's kind of like how you build friendship here with your buddy Pokemon like this Mewtwo, although I have been slacking. I'm sorry, Mewtwo. Nonetheless, as time went on, Ash's bond built up with Greninja. And finally, one time, Ash unlocked a new form called Ash Greninja. As the name suggests, this pretty much makes Greninja look very similar to Ash. It's almost like their bodies are like coming together and they're becoming a Pokemon. Although Ash is not transported or anything like that, it pretty much just Greninja looks like Ash and it looks pretty badass. I hope that got bleeped. It's later discovered that Ash Greninja is unlocked because of its bond with Ash. And its bond with Ash was brought to the max level. In the Pokemon anime, this is called the Bond Phenomenon.
Look at this. They call it the Bond Phenomenon.
Nobody asked.
It doesn't happen with every Pokemon and every trainer, but certain Pokemon and certain trainers can have this bond phenomenon where they kind of come together, build this relationship, and then unlock cool moves and new forms and different things like that. There was actually an Infernape that Ash had a very strong bond with in the anime, which people thought there was going to be something called Ash Infernape because Ash had a really strong bond with this Pokemon. Nonetheless, when this got introduced into the main series Pokemon games in Pokemon Sun and Moon, it was actually changed to something called the Battle Bond ability, which only Greninja had. And I believe it was actually a special Greninja you would get in the game. Now, the Battle Bond ability is defined as follows. Defeating an opposing Pokemon strengthens the Pokemon bonds with his trainer, and it becomes Ash Greninja. Water Shuriken also gets more powerful. You guys know about Water Shuriken, right? That new fast move that just came to the game? Well, this move is exclusive to Greninja, and it would get strengthened when it would become an Ash Greninja. Now, obviously, Ash wasn't in the Sun and Moon games, so there was kind of a disconnect there where you would get Ash Greninja, but I don't believe you were actually Ash, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it is what it is. They wanted to utilize the feature. But that's pretty much how Ash Greninja works. You build up friendship, and then if he likes you enough, maybe he'll become Ash Greninja for you. It's also very important to know that Ash Greninja kind of has a bond with the trainer, so when the Pokemon gets damaged, the trainer also gets damaged. As seen in the anime, when Greninja would get hit in the right arm, Ash's right arm would hurt. I don't really know how to describe it. What's it like? It's kind of like those dolls, eh? Those creepy dolls, what are they called? Where like when you stab the doll, you get stabbed and you feel that pain, whatever that's called. Yeah, I guess it's kind of got a creepy origin story. What you might have noticed is that all of this stuff, does it not sound a lot like Best Buddies? Best Buddies in Pokemon Go, you go ahead and you interact with that trainer, you build that bond with that trainer, you battle, you battle. And all this bond building leads to you getting best buddies in which a Pokemon is stronger. Now, if I were to see Ash Greninja come to the game, how would I want it to be implemented? Well, probably in that manner. Having some sort of special best buddy feature where you need to get 400, 500, maybe even 600 hearts with a Greninja to be able to unlock Ash Greninja would most likely make the most sense, right? Also, on my theory of things, I think that they would probably release Ash Greninja with some sort of special research story where Ash is telling you about it. Since it is Ash Greninja built around Ash, most likely it would make sense that instead of Professor Willow, we see Ash telling you about Ash Greninja. I know some people even think that we're gonna get some sort of Ash energy, like we got Primal Energy and Mega Energy, which is a huge possibility. But really, at the end of the day, the battle bond, the bond phenomenon, all of this stuff about Ash Greninja from the anime and the main series games, it just relates more to Best Buddy. Now, to be honest, who am I to tell you guys about how Ash Greninja can come to Pokemon Go? I am by no means the biggest Ash Greninja fan. I even think Greninja's a little bit overrated.
Oh no, he didn't.
And like I mentioned before, I haven't even watched all of the animes. So instead, I tweeted out asking you guys, the community, what are your best theories on when and how Ash Greninja will come to Pokemon Go? Let's check it out. Starting with the main man, Yonkis, which I know is a huge Greninja fan. I believe it's their favorite Pokemon. Sorry, Yonkis, I was trash talking it. Kalos Tour it is, tied to Zygarde in raids. Obviously, we've had all the tour events with the Sinnoh Tour probably coming in February. Will we get the Kalos Tour with Ash Greninja? It could be possible. Again, Ash Greninja and Greninja, it was all introduced in that generation of Pokemon, so it would make the most sense. Also tied to Zygarde in raids, I'm not 100% sure. Someone have to educate me on how that works, but I do believe there was some sort of connection between Zygarde and Greninja in the animes. Nonetheless, Kalos Tour, not a bad prediction. Purple Feebas here is saying maybe a special event in the future, maybe a paid event. I don't know why, that's what came first when I saw this X/tweet. Rip Twitter. Honestly, I could definitely see this, some sort of special research story where we get, again, Ash probably as the main person telling you about the special research where you can unlock Ash Greninja, similar to how we had Keldeo. Tom Evans saying highly doubtful as it isn't a typical Mega Evolution. In the main series games or in the mainstream games, it was through bonds and it Mega Evolved into Greninja, but I guess they could bring it in for some ribbon evolution for Max friendship with them in-game. I would agree with this statement. It does not work like a temporary Mega where you evolve it. It's a completely different type of Pokemon, which really begs the question how it will be introduced. This person here saying modern Pokemon has been very clear about Ash Greninja not being attainable. It's possible there's a painting of it in the Nomaz house in Scarlet and Violet and got a new menu icon on the home leaks when other things like Pokemon G-Max didn't, but also other gone Pokemon, AZ's Floette. This is something I forgot to mention. Yes, Battle Bond actually did get changed. Battle Bond no longer changes Greninja into Ash Greninja. To be honest though, I don't think this puts away the possibility of Ash Greninja coming to the game because they just didn't want Ash Greninja to continue every single game and be available. They just want it available in the X and Y games. But Pokemon Go obviously steals content from every single other Pokemon game. I think though, even though Battle Bond and the ability was changed in the main series games, I don't think that closes the door on Ash Greninja. Mr. Avalanche here saying, I think it would be great to have today in Quest similar to how Glass's Squirtle was. And obviously, yes, it is Froakie Community Day as I'm recording this video, so it would make a lot of sense, but unfortunately a little too late for that. This person here is saying we have the Luminous Legends Z event. We can get Ash Greninja. If you don't remember, the Luminous Legends X and Y event were great events, but Legends Z would make a lot more sense since it closely follows Zygarde. Again, I should educate myself. The Zygarde part of Ash Greninja, I don't really understand. I'm gonna look that up when I get home. This person's saying no because the community wants it. The Niantic won't do it. They do the opposite of anybody wants. Chaos Hero says, I can see it being a Mega version for a future event. I assume like Mega Rayquaza will have other requirements like maxing friendship or something. That's a pretty good guess. Obviously, Mega Rayquaza needs a Meteorite to Mega Evolve, and it could make sense in which there's Ash Energy or something, or Greninja Energy, and then you also need it to be best buddies and a couple different... I like that prediction, Chaos. And then finally here we'll end on Robert saying no because it's been removed from the main series games. And well, there's only one more question to answer now. And well, that question is Ash Greninja coming to Pokemon Go? If you want my thoughts, I think anything is possible in life. No one really saw Mega Evolution come to Pokemon Go and was always puzzled about how to be released. But look at us now, with over almost every single Mega Pokemon in the game. I believe we're missing like 9. We've seen all sorts of Pokemon being introduced in the ways they're introduced in main series games. Look at the Galarian birds coming to the game through daily adventure instants, similar to how they roam in the main series games. And to be honest, in Pokemon Go, I believe anything is possible. So I think Ash Greninja could definitely come to Pokemon Go at some point. When that is, that's still up in the air. Will it be Kalos Tour? Will we get its own special research story? It's up to Niantic to decide. But personally, I think Ash Greninja is definitely a possibility in Pokemon Go. But also at the same time, it could never come. I do see all the points people make about it being such a limited release for X and Y. It's all about Ash, which we don't have Ash in Pokemon Go, and it's got its special bond with Ash, so why would it come to a game where Ash is not in it? And they're removing it from all the other games, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, there's no right answer. Will it come? Yes. Will it not come? Yes. Only time will tell if we'll get this Pokemon in Pokemon Go. If it does come to the game though, I do have this 100% IV Froakie, which it is Community Day, so let's go ahead and evolve it. Get the legacy moves, Water Shuriken and Hydro Cannon. Bang, and there it is. 100% IV Greninja. Look at that. Oh, it's called Froakie. Well, there it is. Ash Greninja, Water Shuriken, Hydro Cannon, Night Slash. 100% IV. Only time will really tell if we're gonna get this Pokemon in game. But for now, it is Froakie Community Day. So I'm gonna go ahead, spend the rest of this time trying to get some candies, XL candies, maybe even another hundo for when Ash Greninja does potentially drop. If you guys wanna see me play some Froakie Community Day, go check out my live stream, which is live right now. Go watch me catch a bunch of shinies, catch some hundos, try to get a shundo. It'll all be linked below. If you're not gonna go watch that, let me know in the comment section below when you think Ash Greninja is gonna come. If you're more experienced with knowledge on Ash Greninja, drop your theories below on how it would release. And I just wanna see all sorts of Ash Greninja conversation in the comments. Nonetheless, that's it. We'll see y'all in the next one. Fall Mortis, everybody. Peace.